All right, boys and girls, welcome back. Today I'm gonna join two lessons in one video because the first really isn't a lesson, it's just a review activity. So area day 3 and 4, task card review is day 3, and then 4 is area is additive. I'm just gonna real quick go over the task cards. It shouldn't be take too long, and then we'll move on to day 4. Task cards, you've done these before in class. Just you answer the task card and then record it on the recording sheet. When you get to these, just remember that from one point to the next point is 1 unit, okay? And 1 square unit would look like that, okay? Even though things are missing here, you can assume that there are dots. All right? You can upload a picture of this when you're done, and I'll check your answers. There is an optional extra sheet. You do not have to do it. That's why it says optional. You can basically use division. So if the area is 32 feet and this side is 4, you can say 4 times what is 32? And you know that 4 times 8 is 32. So this would be 8. If you even needed to write it out, you could write 4 times blank equals 32. Or 32 divided by 4 equals blank. Okay? Remember, that's optional. Let's move on to day 3, or day 4, I'm sorry. Area is additive. Basically, that just means that you can find an area of an irregular shape, so it's not a regular shape. It maybe is shaped like an L or shaped kind of funky, but we're still going to use rectangular shapes like this. Okay? If you go to the lesson page, we're going to just discuss how to break the rectangles up into 2 smaller rectangles. And we'll show 2 different ways to do this. First, here we're going to just make this whole shape into 2 different rectangles. This first one will be 5 by this part to this part is 4. And from here to here is 2, so we know that we can fill in this with the number 2. So 4 plus 2 is 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Area of this square right here equals 30 feet squared. Then you have to account for this piece. 3 times 2 is 3 times 2 equals 6. Area equals 6 feet squared. Okay, then you have to add up both parts because they are one big shape. So you're going to add the area of this rectangle and the area of this rectangle together to find the total area. So 30 plus 6 equals 36. The area equals 36 feet squared. So that's one way. Here's the second way. So before we divided here, what happens if we divide this into 2 rectangles here? We'll have 5 times 4. So 5 times 4 equals 20. Area equals 20 feet squared. Because these, remember, we're using that same unit of measurement. Then we have this side accounted for, but this right here, we're going to have to pull from from the top. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So we'll have 8 times 2 equals 16. Area equals 16 feet squared. Total area, 20 plus 16 equals 36. Area equals 36 feet squared. Now, what I want you to notice is that you can take apart a shape that is not a perfect rectangle or square. You can divide it up however you need to determine the areas as this part and this part, but then you have to remember to just add them back together. And oftentimes there's more than one way to do it, just like we showed here. This way or this way. Know that when you're doing this, you have to create even sides. You're not going to draw a line across and make some wacky looking shape. You're just going to keep it squares and rectangles to make it easiest for you. Okay, let's move on. This bottom says, Charlie and Frank want to determine the area of this rectangle. Charlie found the rectangle's area using the following equation. 8 times 7 equals A. Frank found the area by adding the products of the following equations. 2 times 7 equals A and 5 times 7 equals B. Whose equations will find the correct area of the rectangle? Explain. So first we're going to look at what Charlie decided to do. He found the rectangle's area by using 8 times 7 equals A. 8 times 7 equals 56. Okay, let's see if he did it correctly. Let's count by counting the units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 units on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 7 units on the side. So does 7 times 8 accurately represent this shape? Yes, it does. So 56 units squared. Now, this Mr. Frank guy, he does something completely different. He wants to find the area by adding 2 times 7 and 5 times 7. Let's see what that would look like. I'm going to grab a blue highlighter just to show you what that would look like. You're not required to use a highlighter. I just want to visualize this for you. 2 times 7 is A. So this is 7. So we can include this set of squares. That's 1 by 7. Now we'd have 2 by 7. Okay. 2 times 7. Oh, and this is labeled A. 2 times 7 equals A would give us 14 units. Okay, 2 times 7. Then we're going to add 5 times 7. Use a different color. Once again, this side is 7, so we'll need to go 5 this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this is labeled B. So 5 times 7, as represented here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, times 7 equals what? 35. Now 35 plus 14 equals, 5 plus 4 is 9, and 3 plus 1 is 4. 49 units. So, whose equations found the correct area of the triangle? Charlie's, right? Because he accounted for every single square unit. So we'll write Charlie's equation because he counted every unit. And Frank's is wrong because he left out an entire line. Let's share why Frank would be, how we could change Frank's to be correct. Okay? So Frank could be correct if he changed his equation now. How's he going to change his equation? I would say, let's add this. Okay, so this is 7 times 2. Right by 7 times 2, or 2 by 7. Oops, let's write 2 by 7 so that makes most sense. 2 by 7. Okay? Plus, we were a whole row off here, so 7 by, instead of 5, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right. So 7 by 6, or 6 by 7. Okay. Do you understand that if you add this line back, they now are showing both parts together as the whole. They're just accounting for it by breaking it down. 7 by 2, 7 by 6. Okay? You will not be asked to write things out quite like this. Your assignment will be more like that first example. Okay? So your job on these 2 pages is to find the area of each polygon. Let me get you started. You may either divide here or divide here. Okay? Remember that you're making equal rectangles. You're making square rectangles. No diagonal lines. On this one, it looks kind of different, but you know what I would do? Draw your line right here. Hint, this side is 10 inches. This side is 8 inches. So this piece and this piece look equal. So 10 minus 8 is 2. This side's going to be 1.